Morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Made it to the end of the week of our first virtual learning. After today, you're officially on spring break for 5 days. You won't have any more of these videos to be watching, unless, of course, you are somebody who maybe didn't do all the work. Then maybe we'll do some catch-up. But Mr. Sharoni here with Mr. Rob again. We have another cube sequence. Our last video just yesterday was about a cube sequence in the arrangements. If you remember, it had two pieces on top at a diagonal. And then, as Mr. Sharoni points out, we added a layer of 4 each time. This time what we have is just one cube. One cube starts arrangement 1. In the second one, lo and behold, what happens, Mr. Sharoni?
We've added how many more to the cube right here? We have the one cube here, and if you can see in the corner over there, there is a cube on the other side. So we've added 4 cubes.
So if we fill this in real quick, you should be doing the same thing. This is your student book, yellow book, page number 208. Pause it if you need to go get it. All right? So we have one total cube here. Mr. Sharoni just told us there was 4 underneath there, so we had a total of 5. In arrangement number 3, we've added another layer of 4 cubes. So if I take my arrangement number 2, I put 4 cubes underneath it. I had 5, I added another 4, I end up with 9. You'll notice arrangement number 4 and arrangement number 5 are hidden at the moment. And so what we want you to do is push pause. What do you think is going to happen with arrangement number 4 and arrangement number 5? Mr. Sharoni and I will be back here after you're done pausing the video. All right. Hopefully you paused. Welcome back. Mr. Sharoni, do you want to tell us what is going to happen with arrangement number 4 and arrangement number 5?
Well, I had one cube. I put a layer of 4 at the bottom. Got 5. Put 4 more. Have 9. I'm guessing I'm going to add 4 more cubes. What do you think?
That's a good guess. I like it.
Good deal. So
I like it.
We got 13.
So if we push this to the side, Mr. Sharoni was correct. There is another layer of 4 underneath. And so if there is 4 in this row here, 4, 4, 4, that would be a total of 12, plus a single one on top would give us the total Mr. Sharoni was guessing, which is 13. Fantastic. So I can make that same guess, Mr. Sharoni, that in arrangement number 5, we are going to have 4 more cubes, another layer. Arrangement number 4 is just stacked on top of another 4 cubes. So we have 17 cubes in arrangement number 5. Just like yesterday, we're going to take these numbers and we're going to put them into coordinate pairs. Remember, the x-axis goes left to right, and the y-axis is the one that goes up and down. So, you want to scroll us down, Mrs. Sharoni, so we can see the next part here? Put that down. All right. So, we relabel them. Remember, it goes up 4 each time. We're now going to fill in the coordinate points. Just like last time, the arrangement number is your x-axis, and the total number of cubes used is your y-axis. So x comes first, then comes y. So arrangement number 1, we know that's going to be 1 for the x-axis, because that's the arrangement number. Total number of cubes is also 1. Perfect. Arrangement number 2, the x is going to be 2. And our y-axis is going to be the total number of cubes, which you can see is 5. 3, that's our x value. Total number of cubes, 9. Arrangement 4 is 13. And arrangement 5 is 17. So the next step is we're going to take these ordered pairs, these coordinate points, and we're going to plot them onto our graph. So can you give us down?
Slide her up again, and we're going to change it again.
Alright, so you want to erase this if you want to fill those in.
Sure.
So Mr. Sharoni is filling those in. You'll notice at the bottom of your paper, it says the arrangement number. That's the x-axis. That is the x value that goes left to right. The y value is our total number of cubes, and that's what we filled in as our second number, our y coordinate point. Okay? So our job then is to graph this. If you remember last time we graphed, we had dots that were increasing all the way to the upper right corner, and we did not connect them with a line because that indicates that there would be points in between. So 1, 1 is the first one. Hold on a second, Mr. Cerrone. I don't see a 1. What am I going to do?
Panic? No, I'm not gonna panic. We go from 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6. What is in between 0 and 2?
A 1.
1. So
Okay.
there you go.
So I'm going to go over 1 and up halfway between the 0 and the 2, because in between there's going to be the 1. So what they really want you to see here is you don't have to have it be on a line. And that's a really key point, because in the next stuff that you're going to do independently, you're going to need to plot things that are sometimes on lines, sometimes they're not on the line as well. All right? You want to do the next one here?
We got it. We go from 2 to 5. Again, we have a 4, we have a 6, so we know it's halfway between. So we go to the 2 axis. The first number is a 2, and then we go to 5, and then we make sure we plot it. We put down 2, 5, and a parenthesis.
Perfect. And we're doing our best to be about in the middle. We're not quite sure where the middle perfectly is. We're just making dots that are about in the middle. So my coordinate point is 3, 9. X value of 3, I go over 3. Y value of 9, I go up to 9, which, as we've been talking about, is between the 8 and the 10. So I'm going to plot my point right here. 3, 9. Mr. Wright, you want to do the next one?
We're going 4, 13, so we go 4 over 13, halfway between. Not a good halfway. Do a better job here. That's a little better. So we got 4, 13. And then finally we got
5, 17 is our coordinate pair. So I go 5 here. 17 is going to be between the 16 and the 18. So I'm going to be right about here. 5, 17. Now, they still want us to do arrangement number 6 and arrangement number 7. Hopefully you started to see the pattern. We know that we're going up by 4 in our y value each time, and our x value is just increasing because we have a different arrangement number. So arrangement number 6 is going to be,
well, we're going to add 4 to 17, and we're going to get 21. I'm going to graph that right away. So I got 6, come over 6, I go to 21 is right there. So I'm 6, 21.
perfect. And then all I'm going to do, my arrangement number, remember, is my x value, and my y value is going to be the number of cubes. If I add 4 on, because that's been my pattern, to 21, I'm going to be at 25. 7, 25. And we label these ordered pairs each time. All right? So at this point, you should have a completed page. All right? What we're going to do is, most of your assignment is going to be on the next page here. However, you are also going to, we're going to work through with you just on the first problem here, and then you can figure it out from there. Again, if you ever have questions, pause the video, send your teacher an email, call them, however they've instructed you to be contacted. So we got a new arrangement here, and what we're going to do is we have built the first 3 arrangements. You, not having omnifix cubes at home, are not going to be able to build arrangement number 4 or arrangement number 5, but we've built arrangement number 4 here for you, and then we can kind of visually understand what number 5 is going to look like. So, arrangement number 1, total number of cubes. How many are there? Oh, perfect. So here it is. Here's arrangement number 1, total number of cubes. Everybody say it together. 1. Nailed it. All right, so arrangement number 1 has 1 cube. All right, Mr. Stone, you want to show them arrangement number 2?
Arrangement number 2, and then we see we got the colors. So we started with 1 yellow, and then we added the blue. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. We added the blue. So we have the yellow, and we added how many more blue? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 on top. So we've added 5 blues. So we have a total of how many in this arrangement, sir?
So that's going to be 6 if you got 5 blue and that 1 yellow in the middle.
So we got 6. Okay.
Awesome.
I'm going to hand the next one to you, Mr. Rob.
Okay. So what we've tried to do is we tried to keep them the same. You see that the 1 in the middle there, that's what we started with. And then what Mr. Cerrone built is on each side, except for the bottom, we had the blue. And that was our arrangement number 2. And that's the one that Mr. Cerrone just showed you. And now what we did is he added green to the front, the back, left and the right, and the top. So you put 5 more cubes on each one. So if I was at 6 and I put 5 more cubes onto my arrangement, that's going to give me a total number of cubes of 11. So then comes the tough part. Now we have arrangement number 4. And you might be thinking, oh, well, I already know what the answer is. But you also have to draw this in here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be three-dimensional. Just can you draw what's going to happen? So Mr. Cerrone is going to show that to you. I'm going to try my best to draw what he gave to you there.
Started with 1 yellow, then we added 5 blues to each of the sides and 1 on top. Then we added 5 greens, 1 to each blue on the sides, and then 1 on top. And now we added 5 yellows. Starting to look like a starship or something here. So that's what we have. And we're adding 5 cubes each time in each of the directions. Mr. Rob?
Well, here it is. So what I drew, this is my interpretation of what it looks like. Here's the top piece, and we can see there are now 3 on there. Mr. Cerrone showed it in blue, green, yellow. I have 3 pieces there. I have this back piece, which is coming off the back. I have 3 there. I did my best to draw the left and the right having 3, and then the one that's coming out of the front also has 3. So really when I look at this, I'm like, well, there's 3 pieces, 3 pieces, 3, 3, 3. So it should be just 15 cubes, right? But don't forget about the one that's in the middle. And that's why I really wanted to show you this. It all stems off of this arrangement number 1. We're adding 5 cubes each time, because you can't forget about that one in the middle. So that would give us a total of how many cubes, Mr. Cerrone?
Well, 5 to 11 is 16.
All right, so I got 16 cubes. So you're going to have to finish out that last arrangement, thinking about if you put maybe a purple one, or if you put, what's the other color we have here?
Orange.
The orange one. If you added an orange to every single one of the yellow pieces that is showing, what would you be at then? All right? It continues with another example. Again, you don't have the cubes at home. We have to kind of visually see what they're going to look like. Maybe you have something at home. Maybe you got some Legos. You could try to build with those. But unfortunately, with our virtual learning, we didn't have you take those home. So your job for today is to complete this page, which is page 209. It also goes on to the next page, which is page 210. And that's here. This is where you're going to graph it. Make sure that you use 2 different colors for your short tower. That was the one that Mr. Cerrone and I showed you. And your tall tower. So hopefully you've got some colored pencils laying around. If you don't, all you have is a pencil. Make your short towers, make them dots. Make the tall towers X's. That would be a fine thing as well. Always make sure that you are labeling your ordered pairs as well. So I think it's page 209 and page 210 for your student book.
211 also.
And page 211 that you're going to work towards as well. And your home connections, there's a lot of work today, but you're going to have the rest of the, you got all spring break to work on this. The home connections are what pages there, Mr. Cerrone?
113 and 114. And you'll be getting that on your Google Doc that we send out to you. So
Yep.
those will be written down. But it's home connections 113 and 114. So big day today.
Yep. Make sure when you get that work done, take a picture with your camera, put it into that Google slide that you have shared with your math teacher. They'll give you feedback on that. And again, if you ever have questions, reach out to us. That's what we're here for.
Thank you. And hey, you guys have a good week off and get this done before you do. And be safe.
We'll see you back on March 30th.
Take care, guys.